Hi, my name is Tim Mobley and welcome to How to Checkmate with the King, Bishop, and Knight, and so much more. My book that's available in stores everywhere. And today's lesson will focus in on Scholar's Mate Part 2. Now in Scholar's Mate, we start off with E4, E5, then it's QH5, here's H, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, QH5, and then this is basically the beginning of Scholar's Mate. So, Scholar's Mate is, again, a method that I do not recommend because while it can get you quick victories in the beginner and novice stages, as you move on, your opponents basically know how to counter it. And also, it doesn't help you to advance your game very much. So, now, we've already gone over some of the basics from Scholar's Mate Part 1. One of the basics is, if you've forgotten everything about Scholar's Mate Part 1, remember just this one thing. What is the safety move? That's right, Q, E7. Here's E8, E7, and we move the queen there. That is the safety move. Some people have done things like Q, F6, but I try and keep it as simple as possible for my students. Just go Q, E7. This way you protect this pawn, and you protect the vulnerable F7 pawn. All right, so now, if this queen comes here, we've already gone over what are some of the worst moves there are, so we won't go over that. You can look that up in Scholar's Mate Part 1. We're going to go into the best moves. N, C6, here's C8, C7, C6 to protect the pawn. Then if white does B, C4, here's C, C1, C2, C3, C4. Then we move the bishop there. Now, again, you need to know what's the best move. If you do not know what the best move is, what's the safety move? That's right, Q, E7. So always remember that. Q, E7 is the safety move. So in case you forget everything else about the Scholar's Mate, remember Q, E7 and just continue your development. Now, what do we do here? Do we remember? Well, before, if we had moved this pawn up without the knight being here, that would be a disaster because the queen would take here, would check, and then would take the rook. But because the knight is there, this is the best move for black. G6. And now the queen is forced to move. Otherwise it's going to be taken. So it can't take this pawn because the knight will take it back. So now the queen might try another tactic and go Q, F3. So here's F, F1, F2, F3, and we move the queen there. So now, what do we do here? In case you do not know, what's the safety move? That's right, Q, E7 is the safety move, in case you've forgotten what's the best move. So the best move here is you not only want to control the center, you want to continue to get your minor pieces out. So white is not following the basics by bringing the queen out. And so if you follow the basics and you keep from getting checkmated, then you have a good chance of doing well in this game. So, a good way to bring a minor piece out and still keep the queen and the bishop from hitting this pawn is to go N, F6. That way it blocks the queen from hitting this pawn and only the bishop can hit there where the king can take back. So only one thing's attacking, one thing's protecting. So that's safe. The queen is attacking a knight, but it's protected by the other queen. So that's safe. Now, a lot of times in Scholar's Mate, I've seen this, where black will go, oh, I'm just going to move here, like that, blocking the bishop's attack on this pawn. Here's the problem with that. This pawn right here, how many things are attacking it? Well, you have the bishop attacking it, you have this pawn attacking it, and then right behind it, you have the queen attacking. So there are three things attacking this pawn. How many things are protecting this pawn? That's right, only one. So keep that in mind. So again, we'll back up. This queen goes here. The knight comes here to block this queen from attacking this pawn. And now, sometimes you'll see this happening again, where this pawn comes up here. And again, I present you with the same question. How many things are attacking this pawn now? 1, 2, 3. So it's still the same 3. How many things are protecting this pawn? 1, 2. So that gives an advantage to white. And usually that's the case. The only time that that's not the case is where there are checking possibilities. Okay, and we're going to get into that later. So we don't want to move this here. Now, when this knight moves here, it's white's turn to move. So the question is, what does white do? Well, white might try another tactic. QB3. So here's B, B1, B2, B3, and then we'll move the queen here. Now, how many things are attacking this pawn? That's right. The bishop's attacking it, and then after that, the queen is attacking it. So, that is very, very bad. Now, what is black supposed to do? Well, how can you protect this pawn? Let's see. Remember that safety move I mentioned before? That's right. When in doubt, do the safety move. Q, E7. Very good. Now the question is, what do we do here? Do we just do the safety move and continue on with our game? Or do we look for the best move? Well, the best move would be Q, D4. And it's a surprising move. Here's D, D1, D2, D3, D4. I'm sorry, and D4. And then we move the knight there. Just like that. Now you may think, well, what is this? There's still two things attacking this pawn, and there's still only one thing preventing it or defending it. So, what do? Well, usually what white might do is white might say, well, this knight is attacking my queen, but if this bishop takes this pawn, that's attacking the king. And check stops everything. Check supersedes everything. So what that means is, whenever your king or your opponent's king is being attacked, the first priority is getting out of check. So that needs to happen first. And then, when that happens, bx f7, check. The king can't take because it's protected by the queen. Now, even though this knight is attacking the queen, the knight can't do anything because the king is in check. So you have to get out of check first. So then the king goes k e7. That's the king's only move to get out of check. And it's kind of looking bad for black, but you have to look deeper into this. This knight is attacking this queen. So the only thing that this queen can do is, one, it can decide, I'm going to attack the king. Get out of this being attacked. So you can do Q, B4. That goes there. And when that happens, well, what does black do? Well, notice by attacking the king with check, it's no longer guarding this light squared bishop. So now the king can take the bishop, just like that. And then from there, you continue with the development, but notice, even though black has lost her castling ability, black is up a whole bishop for a pawn, and the queen is stuck out here in the middle with no other minor pieces developed, and it's being attacked by the bishop. So a lot of bad things are happening. And if you basically play a solid game, you have a good chance of winning. Now, the question is, what can the white queen do besides move up here and lose her bishop? Well, the white queen could move to C, C1, C2, C3, C4. Right there. And that's the only square along the diagonal where it would protect the bishop and at the same time prevent it from being captured, because the white queen would be captured by this knight right here. The knight would attack here. This pawn would attack here. So basically, the only square where the queen could move is right there. So, what do we do? Well, the move for black is B5. These two are hard moves to find. Moving the knight to D4 is hard to find, and B5 is hard to find. So you pretty much have to kind of know it to get it. So now, the queen has very few options. One of the options is to move out of the way, maybe with check, and then the king will take the bishop. Another option is the queen could move here, in which case the king would still take the bishop. But if your opponent has studied Scholar's Mate, chances are they're going to really continue to run with it and do Q, C5. Just like that, check. Now, if the king takes on F7, then the queen takes here. And so now, instead of losing a bishop for one pawn, white has lost a bishop for 2 pawns. And black has lost their casting ability. Now, there are other dangers too. For example, this knight can come here and take here, and attack here and here. So there are lots of things going on. So, a lot of things to think about. So, when it comes to Scholar's Mate, this will be enough to keep you going. I might do a Scholar's Mate part 3. I think I will.